No, this phone does not connect to 5G networks. Yet. So, nope. The Moto Z3. So, nope. I don't consider the Moto Z3 a 5G phone just yet. And I'm not saying that, oh, boom, Motorola, you're committing false advertising and you're lying about, I'm not saying that. I totally understand that Verizon is not ready just yet to unleash their 5G networks. I totally understand it. I just wanted to make it clear that I've seen a lot of articles touting this as the first 5G phone. But keep in mind, since Verizon services are not ready just yet, you're not going to be taking this out of the box and, oh my god, I'm watching 4K live streams on my new Moto Z. Not yet. The Z3 does have a Snapdragon 5G antenna built into it, but it's not going to be a 5G phone until the 5G Moto mod comes out in early 2019, and I will get into that and the Moto Z3 phone itself in this video. So the Moto Z3 is basically Motorola's latest high-end smartphone. It's going to have a 6-inch Super AMOLED LED screen with a 2160 by 1080 resolution, and yes, it is in the 18:9 aspect ratio, kind of like the super widescreen phones we've been seeing in phones like the LG G7, for instance. And the design of the not the G7, excuse me, the Z3, it's not quite as, it doesn't look as bezel-less as something like a Galaxy S9, but I will say the bezels, I think, are just enough. Probably, it's my kind of super thin bezel, in that I don't want it to be like a notch like the iPhone 10 or the LG G7, but rather I do like having just a little bit of bezel on the top and bottom so that I could still fully utilize the screen for watching YouTube videos or movies. The Z3 has dual 12 megapixel rear cameras and an 8 megapixel selfie camera, which has a wide angle lens. The Z3 has a 2.35 gigahertz octa-core Snapdragon 835 processor, and the phone will come with Android 8.1 Oreo. Sorry to say it will not be Android P, which is not out just yet, but hopefully when Android P comes out later this year, you'll be able to get the update for your Moto Z3, and that you're not going to be sitting and waiting until 2019 just to get that update. It's kind of been a problem I've been having with Android phones. Yes, I know they're trying to change that with Android P, but they haven't resolved the issue fully just yet, so I just wanted to point that out. It's going to have 64 gigabytes of internal storage. I don't think it'll have a micro SD card slot. I didn't see that. It's going to have 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is... We'll get into the price in a minute, which I think is okay. You'll definitely get by with 4 gigabytes of RAM, but I kind of wish that Android smartphones started getting 6 or even 8 gigabytes of RAM as of late. Kind of an annoying thing. I know on the older Moto Z phones, they used to put the fingerprint sensor on the bottom chin of the phone, kind of like an iPhone. And I get why that's confusing, because the Android interface controls are still on the bottom part of the screen, like the back, home, and the multitasking buttons. And it can get disorienting, and I'm guessing there are Moto Z users who try pressing that fingerprint sensor thinking, oh, that's the home button, but it's not. It's just a fingerprint sensor. So they moved the fingerprint sensor to the side, which I'm very skeptical about that kind of position in terms of, is it a very accurate place? I believe there was a Sony smartphone that tried to do that, and it was very hit or miss putting it on the side. I would personally prefer if they either implanted the fingerprint sensor into the screen, because the Moto Z3 has a Super AMOLED LED screen, so it would be possible to do that, or even just putting it right on the back, like on a Nexus, on the former Nexus 5X and the Nexus 6P phones. I know it's not a very optimal position, because you would have to pick up your phone every time you wanted to log in, but I still think it's a much better, much more accurate location than just putting it right on the side. There is a USB-C port, yay, but no headphone jack, boo, which I don't know if I said it before in the video, but I try to embrace the whole no headphone jack future, and it's just not very practical even now. Like, the phone that's projecting the image you see on the screen is my iPhone 7, and unfortunately, I just lost my headphone jack adapter. Now I'm going to have to buy one, which I guess, yay Apple, I'm filling your pockets again, but screw you for making me have to buy a headphone jack adapter for the times I lose them. The Z3, and by the way, there will be a headphone jack adapter in the box. I did watch CNET's unboxing video, but it's still a real pain in the ass that it's just something extra that you can lose. And so the Moto Z3 will cost $480, and the phone will release on August 16th. And it is exclusive to Verizon right now. Again, I think it's because as of right now, Verizon is the... I mean, I think all the companies are working on their own 5G networks, but since it's pretty clear that Verizon will be ready to go next year, I think that's why they're having the exclusive agreement, because, what's the point if, let's say, if they go to another carrier and they're not ready next year, and it's just like, well, what's the point of putting in this hardware in the phone? So the hardware to communicate with 5G if the other carriers are not ready. So the price, $480. I know it's not exactly the sweet spot of $400, but given its hardware, I'm surprised that it is coming out with that $480 price, and it's it's not going to be like a $700 phone like with the Samsung Galaxy S9 and so forth. So I still think it's a pretty decent price. I honestly kind of miss when the more mainstream manufacturers, like with Google and their Nexus line, they used to sell phones for like $300, $400, and it had the specs of a $650 phone. So I think this is as close as you can get to it, although the only difference is that with Motorola, you're probably not going to be getting the updates as soon as you would on something like a Google Pixel phone. But please, let me know your thoughts on this phone. Are you excited for the Moto Z3? Would you pick one up? Or do you have your own concerns? You could even feel free to leave your headphone jack rant comments down below, because I'm just as pissed off, to be quite honest. So please let me know your thoughts. This has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hey guys, be sure to like this Blood Moon Bobby video if you enjoyed it. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. Be sure to ring the notification bell to be notified about my latest upload. Follow me on my social media pages at Blood Moon Bobby to find out about what I'll be covering next and for more of my opinions. Thanks for watching.